So we've been talking about this, really a jumping off point for our conversation about people going wheat and gluten-free. It is one of many diet trends out there, fad diets, if you will. Impossibly strict diets exist as well, things that restrict you to just maybe a few hundred calories a day, diets that promise you can lose weight if you eat only cookies. It's all part of a trend. It's a bit of a dangerous trend, so we thought we'd keep Sue Ma around, our registered dietitian, our resident dietitian, talking about some of those. Last hour, if you joined us, we talked about gluten-free, and many people are choosing that even though they don't have celiac disease or allergies or sensitivities. This is a trend. Right. Let's look, in answer to some of your questions, at other fad diets, because people try them. My goodness. Number one, there is one that is very popular, people have been writing about, the raw food diet. Anything cooked or processed in any way is bad, 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 because that loses the nutrients.
You know what? Here's the biggest counter-argument to that. Lycopene, which is one of the antioxidant phytochemicals that's naturally found in tomatoes, lycopene is better absorbed when tomatoes are cooked.
Really?
And same with broccoli. It contains an antioxidant called isothiocyanates. And so that antioxidant is better absorbed in our body when broccoli is lightly steamed. So I'm okay with including raw fruits and vegetables every now and then, but raw foods only, it's not the way to go. It's not a miracle fix.
Isn't it an incredibly time-consuming thing to everything raw and steam and sprout and germinate?
And you want variety in your diet too, right?
Okay, so there is one that people have been asking me about. My friends, quite a number of them, are on something called the blood type diet. And here's the thinking is, the science is, the notion is the foods that you eat react depending on your blood type.
This, you know, it rings a little bit of astrology in this. There might be some interesting coincidental things that work for you, but I looked it up and I'm blood type B+. Right. So this diet says to me that I should have lamb, venison, and rabbit, which I really dislike.
Like all the time? That's what you should be your mainstays.
Those are the meats that I should be eating.
Oh my.
And it advises me to not eat chicken, a duck, lentils, or wheat. And I love those foods. So you know what, you gotta be careful with diets like that. And plus it doesn't even consider the cultural aspects of eating. I'm Oriental. For Chinese New Year, we had dumplings, fish, you know, noodles, and it's all part of the cultural habits that we grew up with. So the blood type diet doesn't take that into consideration at all.
Had a tweet from a viewer wondering about, I mean, he would be more in the raw and the juicing component, but when you look at juicing and then you move it further, you get into people who turn to juice cleanses.
Right.
So they will have lemon juice, they will have cayenne pepper, and they will live on this for weeks at a time.
You know, there could be some dangers with that. First of all, juicing, first of all, our livers will detox the body on our own. So that's the function of our liver, to do that sort of detox. The juice cleanses are very low in calories. So if you're not sustaining about 1,800 to 2,000 calories a day, you're gonna feel lightheaded, you're gonna feel irritable and grumpy. No one's gonna wanna be around you, right? And the other thing with these cleanses is that, you know, you're not getting enough fiber or protein, which we know are important nutrients that you need for satiety and weight management and weight control.
Okay, that's a good thing to bear in mind about those. And finally, I mean, when I was a teenager, I'm sure I tried this one. I think it goes back even farther, and it's still popular to this day, and that's the cabbage soup diet, where you have bowls of cabbage soup earlier in the day, like before you eat anything else. Let me just make sure I tell you about it. So you eat cabbage soup 2 to 3 times a day for a week, along with other low-cal foods.
You know, this whole idea of volumetric. So if you're consuming lots of volumes of liquids, it's supposed to help you feel fuller. And you know what? Glass of water can help you do that. I get a little nervous when I see any particular food being vilified or glorified. And so there's no miracle cure or miracle fix to obesity with the cabbage diet or grapefruit diet or any other sort of diet like that.
So basically you have said no to every one of the trendy, the fad diets. Don't go that way. Why don't, I mean, they seem to take weight off for a short while, quickly in some cases. Why is that?
Well, you know what? I always say that diets do work in the short term because you're changing up your diet. You're probably eating fewer calories than you're used to. So yeah, the weight's gonna come off in the first couple of weeks, maybe even the first month. The real trick and the real key to weight loss is sustaining that weight loss. So can you maintain that way of eating for the rest of your life?
Probably
Are you depriving yourselves? Probably yes. And can you maintain that weight loss? Probably not. So yes, these diets do work in the short term, but the long-term effect, we don't know, and probably it's not going to be very successful.
Many times when you reintroduce normal foods after one of these fatty diets where you've really deprived yourself, the weight goes back on very,
it comes
very
back,
quickly.
and then you get that yo-yo dieting, losing weight, gaining weight, which is really unhealthy for us. So it's not the way to go. Stick to a healthy diet that you can live with for the rest of your life.
That's going to be my final question. If not these, then what?
Well, you know what? My dad's a chef.
Oh, my goodness.
All my life, we've had a positive attitude towards healthy eating and food. Food brings people together. It's celebration, it's enjoyment. So take time to cook and eat food with your family and friends. Find a healthy pattern of eating, not a diet, but a healthy pattern of eating that you can live with for the rest of your life, not about deprivation. Fill half your plate with fruits and vegetables, and that way that's going to keep the other food groups in portion control. And finally, it's all about healthy lifestyle. Get out there, regular exercise, good quality sleep, stress management, and that's your package for success.
Isn't that incredible? These many, many years later, it is the old wisdom that still rings true.
So true.
Moderation, diet, and exercise, and that's
So
pretty
true.
much the simple formula, isn't it?
It is.
All right,
It's not sexy, but it works.
Thanks for coming in.
You're welcome.